The battlefield had gone quiet, but not the peaceful kind of quiet. It was the heavy, suffocating silence that followed destruction. Smoke coiled upward from shattered alien warcraft. The ground, once smooth metallic terrain, was torn open like flesh. Blue blood, alien, mixed with dark red human blood, steaming in the cold air of the foreign planet. Sergeant Elias Vance stood alone among the wreckage. His armor was cracked. His visor flickered. His breathing was loud in his ears. "Command, this is Vance," he said, voice strained. I'm the only one left in Sector 12. Static answered him. He lowered his arms slowly. The mission had been simple, at least on paper. Infiltrate. Destroy the alien command core. Retreat. But nothing about the Xeran Empire had been simple. They weren't just enemies. They were something else. Organized, ruthless, intelligent, and led by someone humans had only heard whispers about, the Queen. Elias stepped forward cautiously, his boots crunching over debris. His pulse quickened as he noticed something unusual ahead. A massive structure, half organic, half mechanical, lay collapsed. It pulsed faintly with a dim violet glow. The command core. He'd found it. Or what remained of it. "Guess we weren't completely useless," he muttered. He approached slowly, rifle raised. Then he heard it. A sound. Soft. Not mechanical. A breath. Elias froze. He scanned the wreckage carefully, his weapon tracking the sound. There, beneath a slab of twisted alien alloy, something moved. "Show yourself," he called out. No response. He stepped closer. The slab shifted slightly, as if something beneath it was trying and failing to move it. Elias hesitated. Every instinct screamed at him to finish the mission. Confirm the kill. Eliminate survivors. But something held him back. He crouched, gripping the edge of the slab. "If you're alive," he said quietly, "this is your only chance." With a strained grunt, he lifted. The metal screeched as it shifted just enough to reveal what lay beneath. Elias' breath caught. It wasn't a soldier. It wasn't even what he expected. She was different. Tall, even while lying motionless. Her form was elegant, almost regal. Pale. Iridescent skin shimmered faintly under the dim light. Her limbs were slender, delicate, but there was strength hidden beneath them. And her eyes, they opened slowly, glowing with a deep, luminous violet. Not fear. Not hatred. Pain. "You," she whispered, her voice soft but layered with something strange, like multiple tones overlapping. Elias tightened his grip on his rifle. He knew. Even without confirmation, he knew. "You're the Queen." A faint smile touched her lips, though it seemed to cost her. "Your kind calls me that." Elias should have pulled the trigger. Every training protocol demanded it. Kill the leadership. End the threat. But she didn't look like a threat. She looked broken. Her lower body was trapped beneath the collapsed structure. Strange, crystalline fractures spread across her form, glowing dimly as if her very essence was cracking. "You're dying," Elias said. "Yes." No hesitation. No denial. Just truth. He swallowed hard. "Good," he forced himself to say. But it didn't feel right. Her gaze shifted, studying him. "You do not sound convinced, human." Elias clenched his jaw. "You wiped out half my unit, and yours wiped out millions of mine." Her voice didn't rise. It remained calm, factual. Elias had no answer for that. Silence stretched between them. Then she tried to move again. A sharp, pained breath escaped her as the structure pinned her tighter. She stopped. "I cannot move," she said quietly. Something about the way she said it, so simple, so vulnerable, hit him harder than any weapon. Elias looked at her. Really looked. This was the enemy. the leader of an empire that had nearly crushed humanity. And yet, she wasn't attacking. She wasn't commanding. She wasn't even defending herself. She was just there, helpless. "Why aren't you killing me?" she asked. Elias exhaled slowly. "I don't know." That was the truth. Another pause. Then she spoke again, softer this time. "If you leave me, I will die here." Elias said nothing. "I cannot even free myself," she continued. "My body is failing." He glanced at the wreckage pinning her down. He could walk away. Mission complete. Humanity would celebrate. The war might even end. So, why wasn't he moving? "Why tell me that?" he asked. Her glowing eyes met his. "Because you are the only one left who can choose." That wasn't what he expected. Elias stared at her for a long moment. Then, slowly, he lowered his rifle. "Don't make me regret this." He stepped forward again and braced himself. "This is going to hurt," he said. "For you or for me?" she asked faintly. "Probably both." He gripped the slab once more. With a deep breath, he lifted. Muscles screamed. His armor strained. The weight was enormous, but it shifted. A crack of light appeared. The queen gasped sharply as pressure eased. Again, Elias growled. He pushed harder. The slab rolled just enough. "Move," he shouted. "I cannot." Elias cursed under his breath. "Then I'll do it." He dropped the slab and reached beneath it, ignoring the searing heat and jagged edges cutting into his gloves. Carefully, awkwardly, he slid his arms under her. She was lighter than he expected. Fragile. He hesitated for a split second. Then he lifted her. The moment her body was free, she let out a trembling breath. For a second, she didn't move, didn't speak, just existed in his arms. Elias felt something shift in the air. Her glow flickered slightly brighter. "You," she whispered. "Yeah," he muttered. "Don't make it weird." But it already was. He was holding the enemy queen like she weighed nothing, like she mattered. "Why?" she asked. Elias started walking, scanning for any remaining threats. "I told you. I don't know." That wasn't entirely true, but he didn't have the words for the real reason. Because leaving her there felt wrong. Because she didn't look like a monster. Because for the first time since the war began, he wasn't looking at an enemy. He was looking at someone who needed help. And that changed everything. "Where are you taking me?" she asked. "Somewhere safer than here." "There is no safety," she said quietly. Elias snorted. "Yeah, I figured that out already." They moved through the wreckage in silence for a while. Her breathing was uneven. "Weak." "How bad is it?" he asked finally. She didn't answer immediately. "My core is fractured," she said. "I am not meant to survive such damage." Elias frowned. "Core." She hesitated. Then, slowly, she placed a faintly glowing hand over her chest. "My life is here." Elias glanced down. The glow beneath her skin pulsed faintly. Cracked. Like a dying star. "Can it be fixed?" he asked. "Not by me." He stopped walking. "Then who?" Her gaze shifted back to him. "You." Elias blinked. "Yeah, I don't think I've got the right toolkit for alien queen surgery." Her lips curved slightly. "You underestimate yourself, human." "Name's Elias." "Elias," she repeated softly. Something about the way she said it made his chest tighten. "You carry energy," she continued. "Life. Strength." "That's called not being dead," he said dryly. "No," she said. "It is more than that." He frowned. "Your kind adapts," she said. "Endures. It is why you still stand against us." Elias shifted her slightly in his arms. "So you want me to what?" "Fix you with determination." "In a way," she said. He stared at her. "Great. Super helpful." She studied him again. You're afraid. Of course I'm afraid. Not of me. Elias didn't respond. Because she was right. He wasn't afraid of her. Not anymore. What happens if I don't help you? He asked. She closed her eyes briefly. My people will not stop. And if I do? Her eyes opened again. They will listen. Elias let out a slow breath. That was it. That was the weight of the moment. This wasn't just about saving a life. It was about ending a war. Or continuing it. You're asking me to trust you, he said. Yes. That's a lot to ask. And yet you already carry me. He almost laughed at that. Fair point. They reached a relatively stable structure, half collapsed but offering some cover. Elias carefully lowered her onto a flat surface. She winced, her glow flickering again. Okay, he said, running a hand through his hair. Tell me what to do. She looked at him, something softer in her gaze now. Place your hand here, she said, guiding his hand toward her chest. Elias hesitated. Then he did it. The moment his hand touched her, he felt it. Warmth. Not physical heat, but something deeper. Energy. It pulsed against his palm. Focus, she whispered. Elias frowned. On what? On giving. He scoffed lightly. You're really not good at instructions, you know that? But he closed his eyes anyway. Took a breath. Focused. On what? On surviving. On his fallen squad. On the people back home. On her. He didn't know how long he stood there. But slowly he felt something shift. The pulsing beneath his hand grew steadier. Stronger. The cracks of light began to fade. The queen gasped softly. Her body tensed, then relaxed. Elias pulled his hand back suddenly. What the? He looked at her. The glow was brighter now. Stable. Alive. You did it, she whispered. I didn't do anything. You gave, she said. Elias stared at his hand. Then back at her. How is that even possible? She smiled faintly. Because you chose to. He shook his head, trying to process it. That doesn't make any sense. Not everything does, she said. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then the ground trembled. Elias turned sharply. Distant shapes moved on the horizon. Alien reinforcements. Of course, he muttered. Wouldn't be complete without round two. The queen slowly sat up. Her movements were still weak, but controlled. They come for me, she said. Yeah, I figured. Elias grabbed his rifle. Well, guess I'll buy you some time. No, she said. He looked back at her. She was standing now, fully upright. Her presence had changed. Stronger. Commanding. The air itself seemed to bend slightly around her. They come to obey, she said. Elias blinked. What? The approaching forces slowed. Then they stopped. One by one, they lowered their weapons. And knelt. Elias stared in disbelief. You've got to be kidding me. The queen stepped forward slightly. Her voice, when she spoke, carried far beyond what should have been possible. It ends. The words echoed. Not loud, but absolute. The alien forces remained still. Silent. Obedient. Elias lowered his rifle slowly. Did we just win? She looked back at him. No, she said softly. We chose. Elias let out a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. The war was over. Just like that. Not with a final battle. Not with total destruction. But with a choice. He looked at her, really looked, not as an enemy. Not as a queen. But as someone who had been just as trapped as he was. Guess lifting you wasn't the worst decision I've ever made, he said. Her expression softened. No, she agreed. It was not. For the first time since the war began, Elias smiled. And for the first time in her existence, so did the queen.